Welcome back. This is another pre-introduction episode of About Life, number 3. And today we're going to be talking about freedom, what it means to have too much freedom and freedom in general. Because I think personally that having too much freedom can be a problem, which is the situation that I'm in right now. Having way too much freedom allows me to have, I guess, the so many choices that I don't know what to choose from. And an example I thought about was um, like, which one would you rather? Would you rather walk into a guitar store that has 10,000 different guitars, brands, different kinds? Or would you rather walk into a guitar store that has about 10? Me personally, I would rather walk into the one with 10. Because if you walk into the one with 10,000, that's extremely overwhelming. I mean, like, just thinking about the grocery store, like I get dizzy walking into there because there's just so many choices. Even like buying tea, I'm standing there like with five, six different brands, and there's just like a whole row of them. And it's kind of like you're flying through this void, and then like in Star Wars, you can see all these lines coming through your head, and that's kind of like that's how I feel when I walk through the aisles. There's just so much choices. Like if I'm not clear about what I want to buy when I go to the grocery store, I'm lost. My eyes just flies everywhere. Like I was like, oh my god, look at that cereal. Oh my god, look at that peach. Oh my god, look at that fish. Oh my god, look at that milk. Like everything, it's so appealing. I mean, the colors are everywhere, and everything looks really good too. Like I don't even like I don't eat cereal in general. But if I walk through the aisle and I see this brand new cereal, organic cereal that's GMO free, that's cage free, that's no sugar, that's fat free, and is healthy for you, has alkaline in it, and is super green. Like all these stuff, like advertisement on products are so good. I mean, I feel like it gets to a point where they just put whatever they want onto the product. But I'm deviating it a little bit away from the freedom. But oh man, that kind of falls into the category of freedom. Uh, like when you think about it, like products, like companies putting any kind of label onto the product, and we as a consumer, I feel like it's just we have to listen to it in a way. We have to believe it, or we don't know what to believe in. Um, and speaking of freedom, I just recently learned about the FDA has not been approved message on certain products. That being on the label, meaning that you can put whatever you want onto the label because it has not been approved by the FDA. So you can say that drinking this pill that has, let's say, like 99% filler but 1% lemon. Lemon is known to be I guess more energizing to make you feel energized. So with that, they can claim that this product give you energy, and that's insane. Um, Speaking of freedom, that's just, I mean, like I feel like like back in the time when they said that we live in the Stone Age and we live in the Iron Age and all these different ages, and I feel like now we are in a time where information, just way too much information everywhere. I mean, we're getting bombarded with information on social media. Wherever we go, we get information, whether we like it or not. It just our brain becomes just scattered. I feel like, but I feel like that's the curse of having too much freedom. It's almost like the Wild West. It's not like anyone can do whatever they want, but you could you could do that. I mean, we had tragedies happening. Like mass shooting and stuff. But not that that's freedom, but too much freedom can lead to dangerous things. And I feel like having some kind of sense of control over this freedom is necessary. And bringing it back to the point where I have too much freedom in my life, I don't know what to do. Like walking into a guitar store having 10,000 different choices. Now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, should I get a mahogany bass or should I get cedar wood base? No, but wait, the mahogany base has a little bit more bassy tone to it, and then the cedar has a little bit more crisp tone, right? It gets down to the very specific of certain things, but are those really necessary? Like, are these things life changing things, you know? And when it comes to life, I feel like when this kind of brings me back to memories when I was a kid. When you're a kid, you don't have a lot of choices. Life seemed to be a lot more enjoyable at the time for me. But now since I have everything, I mean, I could literally go to the store and buy a cup of coffee or fresh produces that's from a farm. And this is something that's unimaginable a couple years ago. I mean, like, I can just drive down a couple minutes, not even minutes. No, actually, it takes a couple minutes. Trader Joe is just like, what, 2 minutes away? But yeah, like, it's just a couple minutes down, and I can buy fresh lettuce, tomatoes, apples, what have you, anything in the store. And that's insane. And even with alkaline water, clean water, even though we have that inside our home, but buying things just because I can, like, that's the kind of freedom we have. And I mean, like, there's it's obvious that, like, having this kind of freedom, you would choose with going with the healthier option, right? But no, at the same time, I have the option of eating super healthy and being extremely healthy and feeding myself with the most nutritious food in the world and I can cook my own food to a degree where I've become almost like a superhuman. I could add 50 years to my life. Okay, that's an exaggeration. But the point is that I have the option of becoming like a freaking, like a green chef, you know? Like, I can feed myself with the best things that's available. I mean, the best things that's far beyond imaginary good for a couple of years ago. I can buy, like, on Amazon, I can get roots, I can get powder, I can get matcha, I can get like green tea extract, and now you have all this kind of stuff that you can get. So this is good. But do I do that? Not exactly. I mean, I kind of lean towards more kind of like the chips things. You know, chips are delicious, but having freedom, but no having no kind of discipline, I guess that falls into me just splurging on whatever I feel like eating or even impulsively feel like doing. And so the point is that having too much freedom is good, but also it's bad. Anything too much is bad. You know, when you have too much water, that could kill you. Surprise, surprise. If you have too much broccoli, that will also kill you. Uh, find the healthiest thing on earth and eat too much of that. I mean, okay, not eating. I mean, just water in general. That could kill you. You can't go anything more that you can't up one from that. Too much air will also kill you. If you get too much oxygen, that will literally kill you. Um, so there's no more debate about it. You can't up that. You can't up from oxygen. But oh yeah, I think our train went pretty far there. But I think having freedom also requires some kind of discipline because if we, as a kid, I feel like our parents disciplined us and say like, no, you can't have that sugar, you can't have the candy, you can't eat that cookie, and you kind of have like our parents always took care of us. I felt like, or most parents, but my parents especially took care of me, and she always wanted me to have a balanced diet. She didn't cheap out on just making ramen noodles every day. There was times where we were really poor and didn't have an option, but rice was always there, that's for sure. But she was always on the lookout. Like, I didn't have to make choices at the time, so she always took care of me. But now, since I don't have that discipline side, or I guess someone that to monitor what I eat, it's easier to fall out or to discipline myself. Hence why I think it is important. I feel like to discipline yourself. Uh, it sounds kind of silly, but sometimes like when I go to the store, I would I create this character of like it's almost like this army character that I do. I kind of discipline myself when I let's say I don't make my bed. And it's like, is that how you want to wake up every morning? Is that how you want to leave the house? Is that how you want to be in 5 years? So this is kind of like this disciplinary voice that I created, and that way it's kind of like me disciplining me. It sounds a little bit twisted, but it works because I feel like if I don't do that, what I'll end up doing is like, oh, no, it's okay, it's okay, and I just keep doing it, and it gets to a point where the room is just entirely blown up, and I have to clean it once a month or something. But having this disciplinary voice kind of keeps me in check at times. So controlling the freedom is essentially what the point is. So that was freedom. That was what I wanted to say about freedom. And on the next episode, not the next, on a couple more episodes. So all these pre-intros are leading up to the introduction, right? So I have an introduction in my head, but I felt like this morning I felt like I wanted to film the introduction today, but then I felt like before I would, it's very impulsive and I would do it, but then I felt like, no, you know what? Let's just think about this. We have an idea. Let's think about the idea, and let's take some time, spend some time with the idea, and write it down. Maybe jog some ideas and stuff, and then once we are ready, let's go film it. So I have a couple ideas about the introduction I want to do. So that's coming up. I'm aiming for the episode 10, and then I do the introduction. But I guess this is also like a document behind. I guess what happens before the actual product that launches, because I'm not entirely happy with where this is. It's kind of like a test run, until we get to a point where we're happy with the product, and then we're gonna create the introduction and then officially release. But for those of you who are actually watching, friends and family, thank you guys for tuning in and support, and appreciate it. But this will end the podcast of pre-introduction number 3. But once again, don't forget, I'm gonna drink my first cup of tea that I just brewed for ending this podcast. 1 second. On today's menu, we got elderberry by Pukka. Is it? Yeah, Pukka elderberry. It smells delicious. Let's take a smell. I wish you guys could smell this. All right. We're going to drink it in 3, 2, 1. Taste review. Excellent. Not bad, not bad. But that'll end it. Thank you guys for tuning in. A little bit extra. I guess you had, yeah, that is called the extra. Okay, that's it.